Alright, I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes. There's one lurker. I don't know who that is. It will not tell me, but that's okay. We're learning. As you can see, it's gonna be nuts. There's more on that side. There's more in the kitchen. There's more on the shelf in front of me. Hello, second person. I don't know who you are. I wish it would tell me. That would be cool. Participants. Oh. Just me. Just kidding. You know, I always thought I was really, really like young and hip with the technology, and then I tried to do this, and not. Guys, I'm not. Miss Paul's getting old. So I'm gonna just start, and then as people pop in, they can see the plants that I'm talking about. It's gotten out of control. That's all I can say is it's gotten a little crazy. And I don't quite know where to start, so I might just start with the small ones and work my way to the big ones that are behind me. And we'll work from there. Let's see, I started collecting plants at the very beginning of this year, in January, because I wanted a new hobby. Because when you go to college, your hobby is college, unfortunately. So you kind of lose interest in all other things, other than like video games, but like that's more of like an addiction than a hobby if you ever played video games. So I bought plants, and I had never been able to keep them alive. And then I was able to keep them alive because when you're in your mid 20s, like I am, something just clicks in your head, and you kind of want to start buying, the Ross stuff. You can see my beautiful picture back there. You want your house to look a little bit nicer because you want to spend more time at home rather than out and about. So that's where plants came in. And I'll start with this one. I bought this one yesterday when I was out grocery shopping because you can find plants anywhere. This is a silver satin, or wait, no. Plant number one, and I already messed it up. This is a pearls and jade pothos. It's a variety of like plants that tend to go crazy and they vine. You can tell it's pearls and jade because of the leaf pattern. I want this one. So it's got more white in it and a lot more kind of variation in what the leaves look like. And you'll see with like a marble pothos that things tend to get, they look more uniform than just this. So this is a pearls and jade pothos. I'm going to stick it right here. Hi, Taylor. You and Jacob and Angie are here. Hi, you guys. I'm going to just show you all of my plants because it's a little crazy. Okay. So this is another pothos. This is a Mandula pothos. And you can tell this is a Mandula because it's mostly green, but it's got some darker green dots and some white around the edges. And this plant keeps trying to die on me. I miss you too, Angie. This plant keeps trying to die on me, and I don't quite know why. They're supposed to be easy. I don't believe that. But this is one of my favorites, hence it's in the pretty pot because it's one of my favorites. Okay. I have a couple of these just because I like them a lot. These are called Marantas. I made her cry. Oh no! I cry a lot because I miss you guys, and I'm just like, this sucks. But I do miss you guys. a lot. I miss you being late to first period too and trying to bribe me with donuts. Yes. So, but this is a prayer plant. These are cool because at night the leaves will go straight up like it's praying because they like to hide at night, which honestly, same. And so these are pretty cool. I own a couple of these because they're fun and cheap. They like higher humidity, so you can tell that I haven't been keeping it in higher humidity by the crispy crisp right there. And that's because I had to take it out of my bedroom because I have a current fungus gnat infestation, which if anybody follows my Instagram, they will have seen. And I'm trying to get rid of them, and so keeping them all together and treating them all together is kind of how you're supposed to do it. So they're not in my room right now because I can't handle bugs in my room at all. Like, no, thank you. This is another prayer plant. This is a variegated prayer plant. So you can see the white on it. So there's albino animals, so the animals that are kind of white in appearance, and then there's variegated plants, which means something's wrong in their genetics that makes them not have that green chlorophyll. I'm taking you to science class, kids. And that's why they have these white splotches. And so these are harder to find, and so plant people really like these kinds of plants. Except for this one big leaf has no variegation on it at all, and I don't get it. But I'm not going to question it because I'm not that great with plants. Pretty much in quarantine, all I've been doing is playing Animal Crossing. I play a lot of Animal Crossing with Mrs. Grody and Miss Randall, and taking care of my dogs and taking care of my plants. That's pretty much it, kids. I don't have a lot going on, guys. I can't go anywhere. And if I was going anywhere right now, I would be teaching right now. So it's like nothing fun can happen until the summer. If anything fun can happen in the summer, if you get me. You're getting Animal Crossing? My island is a 5-star island, and I'm having fun with it. It's great. I'd never played Animal Crossing before because when I was younger, we couldn't really afford Nintendos. So it's nice being able to buy things for myself. So this is a Syngonium randi. Syngonium are actually my favorite plants that I own because they're just really elegant and pretty. I like this one a lot because it's got the really cool pattern on it. And yeah, I was trimming leaves off of it earlier because it's having some issues, and I think it's because maybe there's not enough air getting to the roots. I'm going to just shrug. Okay, let's see. This over here. Let's do the big guy. So I'm going to stand up for this one because it's a big boy. So this is a Philodendron Brazil. It's one of my bigger plants, as you can see, with its little hanging. I normally have this hanging in my kitchen just because it really likes it in there, but it's had some mealybug issues, so I've been treating it on my kitchen table, which is kind of like this table behind me, which is kind of my nursery, if you will. So this is really cool because it's got the lighter lemon colors. Let's see, this guy and this guy. So I don't actually, oh wait, it's right here. This is called a moondrop. My mom got me this plant. It's not my favorite, but it's there. So this is a moondrop. It's got the little white drop leaves, and that's why it's called that. This one is one of my favorites. This is a Philodendron New Hope, or a Philodendron Ceolum, and it's got these really pretty ruffled leaves on them. And it's just a little guy. You can tell which way I have it facing because it's trying to get to the sun. So I want to let it get to the sun as much as it can. It doesn't actually require that much sun, and I actually put it in the sun before and it burned a little bit because plants can get sunburns just like Miss Paul can. I get some of the worst sunburns, you guys. Like the worst. And ever since moving back from Monterey, because if you don't know this about Monterey, it's hardly ever sunny there. It's always foggy. So you don't get too much sun. But in Sacramento, that's pretty much all you get. So at some point, you guys are going to see me with bright red arms and face because I don't know how to sunscreen before I leave my house. And it's kind of an issue. Okay. Let's work with these two. So this is I had to look at it. It's a Peperomia obstifolia variegata. It's Peperomia Ginny. These are cool because they're kind of like succulent leaves. They're kind of waxy. Peperomias are an interesting plant. I don't know. This is another one that my mom got me. They're fun. They're supposed to get really big in like 15 years. So that's the fun thing about plants is some of them don't ever get big, or it takes them a lifetime to get big. So you either buy them big or you buy them small and just have them small, which is pretty frustrating if you ask me because I want big plants, but big plants are like $60. Anyways, this is a Pothos and Joy. And Pothos and Joy are all green with some white on top around the edges. It looks really similar to the Manjula Pothos, but the Manjula Pothos has more green in it, and it can have green in the center of the leaf rather than just on the outside of the leaf. And they also vine a little bit different. Manjula Pothos tend to have thinner vines, whereas the Enjoy has pretty thick vines. So eventually this is going to be one of those plants that will trail all the way down, and I'll show you what that looks like with my big plant that I'm actually going to have to take the computer and show you because I can't take it down from the shelf. It's too much work. Let's see. This guy. Woo, email. Okay. So this is kind of like the prayer plant. This is a Calathea lancifolia. It's also called a rattlesnake plant. And similar to the, what's happening here? Similar to the prayer plant, it also goes up at night to get more, to kind of conserve its energy. I'm not doing a very good job with this plant, I have to tell you guys. Like you can kind of see. You cannot add me to Snapchat yet. No, ask me at the end of May. Not that there's anything cool in my Snapchat. I just literally cry about plants and Animal Crossing on it. There's nothing that interesting, guys. Yeah, I'm trying not to kill this plant because I ordered this plant online. So that means it's more expensive, and I don't want to tell you how much I paid for this plant because you guys will get mad at me. Okay. Let's just say the end of May and talk to me at the end of May, okay, Angie? So this is a Crassula pagoda. It's a succulent. I bought it when I was actually looking for something else because I was trying to fill up a terrarium, but it's actually really cute. I like it. It was this tall when I got it, and it's grown that much since. So, and it's got little twins, so it's going to start to branch off in 2 different directions in a little bit. It's actually a really cool plant. It kind of sits on my back shelf back there where my router is, and it just enjoys its life, quite frankly. You don't ever have to water these really. Like I can literally pull it up by the root ball because you really don't have to water these until they wilt, and then you water them. So they're really easy. If you suck at plants, I would suggest succulents because you can literally forget about them and they enjoy that. Here's one of my favorites. So this is kind of like the typical, this is my first plant other than the pothos. This is a ZZ plant, and they don't really need anything. You can water them, you can not water them, and they're just kind of fine. Like this one has so much new growth coming off of it. It's crazy. It has gnats, but I mean, so do most of my plants at this point. So honestly, if you guys were going to buy plants, which I don't think this is why you're watching this at all. I think this is you watching me lose my mind completely. But if you were going to get plants, this is the plant for you. They're also pretty cheap too. So for those of you going to college or working or maybe getting your own apartments and want plants, which I suggest because it's good for the air quality, a ZZ plant's going to be the way you go. Okay, let me get one of the big guys. Let's go with this guy. I'm going to just put him right here. So this is a philodendron Xanadu. It's got really cool, like, scalloped leaves. And this is one of my bigger plants. I'm still looking for a cover pot for it. So a cover pot is what this plastic pot can go into because this one has big drain holes and the philodendron need to be able to drain. It's a pretty easy plant. I've only had it less than a month. It needs to be dusted a lot. So plants, I don't know if you guys know this, it sucks in all the air around it and cleans it. And that means that it's sucking in dusty air and the dust can't get into the follicles. So it gets stuck on the outside. And so you have to kind of wipe the plants down so that they can continue to clean the air around you. So yeah, this is a cool plant. It's really easy. I don't really give it a lot of attention. It's usually in my bedroom. What can I say? Now, for a plant that I don't suggest for anybody because it is taking and it's not a good thing. Ooh. This is a fiddle leaf fig. I knew I shouldn't have bought this when I bought this, to be honest. This is going to be one of those plants that are the most finicky, like, I'm going to die if you breathe on me the wrong way. Oh my God, you turned me a little too much when you watered me kind of deal. You watered me too much. You didn't water me enough. The dog licked me, something like that. This plant wants to die. If I'm being super honest, it wants to go. But it's doing okay right now. But don't ever buy one of these guys. They hate everything about you and they will let you know it. It's pretty though. So, I mean, there's that. And it's called a fiddle leaf because the leaves are shaped like violins. But, yeah, this plant hates me. And I kind of hate it, but it's so pretty that it's staying. So, don't buy one of these. Ever. Okay. Boy. Here's another one of the big guys. This is a Monstera adansonii. It is kind of one of your typical tropical leaf plants. Let's see if I can get the good leaf. So this is what the mature leaves look like. They're kind of split leaf. You see this kind of a lot in Ross pillows and other decorations. Very tropical, very cool. It grows really quickly. When I got it, there was not as many leaves on it, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 new leaves popping up right now. It's pretty easy to take care of. You got to give it medium sunlight. I don't know, I like it. It's kind of your typical plant person plant, if you will. Yeah, it's fun. It sits, it's dirty right now, but it kind of sits right here where my kitchen stuff is. So that's where my kitchen. But it's a cool plant. I like it. Here's another plant that I have no business owning. This is a euphorbia cactus. I don't know how to take care of a cacti, guys. I really don't. I don't even know when to water it. Like, I know eventually it's going to need water. I just don't know when that's going to be. And Miss Gertie yelled at me for buying this. So, there's that. It does look like a cute cucumber. Supposedly it's going to be one of those. Here, I'll put this aside for a second. Supposedly it's going to be one of those cacti that you see in the desert. You know, like the ones that are long and they have like the arms in like 25 years. So in 25 years, it's gonna have to go outside, and hopefully I own a house at that point. Be kind of sad if I didn't, you know. This is one that I think a lot of you will like. This is called a string of hearts. So if you can look really closely, they're little hearts. This plant needs almost nothing from you. You only water it from the bottom, so you see the holes, and you just put it in a bowl of water. Water from the bottom whenever it's completely dried through, and it puts out growth super duper quickly. Look at that. When I got this plant, all of the strings were up in the top up here, and ever since then they've just grown and grown and grown some more. I like this plant. These can get up to 15 feet long, so this can go all the way out. So hopefully one day I can stick this on top of a bookshelf and have a pretty like curtain of hearts. Okay. Here's another little one. You guys have probably seen this on like Instagram and during like Valentine's Day when they like show plants. This is a Hoya carrii. It's also known as the sweetheart plant. It's just a little heart in the dirt. Eventually, if I treat it right, it'll start to vine and put off more hearts. But right now, it's just a heart in the dirt. It's cute. I think next year this is going to sit on my desk at school and just have a cute little decoration on my desk that it doesn't need much. I literally water it once the top starts to shrivel a little bit, and then I water it. I've only watered it once since getting it, and that's when I repotted it. So it's really easy. If you guys only have a little bit of space, like in college dorms or your apartment's really small, this is a good one for you, and you probably won't kill it, which is nice because I have a feeling some of you aren't very good with plants, and that's okay. Oh, that was my knee, you guys. I'm getting old. Let's do this guy. This guy. Got too many plants, y'all. Okay, let's start with the little one. My cell phone over here. Okay, so we're gonna start with the little guy. This is a ponytail palm. Some of you have actually seen a lot of these in a lot of student homes that I've like had to do home visits for at my old school. Imagine if I had to go to your house once a semester. But these are cool because they get really big, and eventually they'll have like a trunk in the middle, and it's like a little tree. I bought it little because it was really cute, and I don't really need big plants right now if you can't tell by what's behind me. So I just bought this on a whim. He's cute. I don't know, I like him. He's fun. This was one of my wish list plants for a really long time, and I worry about this plant constantly. So this is a Rapidophora tetrasperma. It's also called a mini monstera. It is such a cute, delicate little plant. And eventually this guy, I'm going to put trainers, which are like bamboo rods going straight up, or maybe a moss pole. And it's going to climb the moss pole, and it'll look really pretty in about 5 years. And some people have these in their houses, and they have a moss pole going all the way up to the ceiling, and it goes all the way up. And I think that that's really cool because I want to be surrounded by plants. I keep telling everybody that I want my house to be so full of plants that if someone breaks in, the plants decide to eat them. Yay! Okay. So this is a Syngonium berry, I think. Syngonium berry. It's kind of your typical Syngonium. It's really pretty. I don't know. I love these plants just because they look like butterflies to me. I don't know. And they're just really easy to take care of. They're pretty low light, meaning they don't need a ton of light. And they're just really easy and really pretty. They look really cute in pots, and they just look really elegant. I don't know, I'm pretty easy to please when it comes to plants. I find something good in everything. Let's do the alien plant next. That's what I call this plant. This is a Rex begonia. Begonias are supposed to be perennials, meaning that they die when they live outside. A lot of people own them and have them in their front yards, and they kind of go into hibernation and then re-bloom, I guess. But when you keep them inside, they really like it, and they tend to live a little bit longer. They're just really hard to keep alive. They need very high humidity, so I usually have this one sitting next to a humidifier in the kitchen. And they need to be moist pretty much constantly. But I don't know if the camera will show how it does a little bit. It has like an iridescence to it, which is so pretty. And it just is such a pretty flowering plant. Eventually this will shoot off little blossoms. But it's just so pretty. And I shouldn't own this plant because my house does not have that high of humidity. And even though I don't get to see it all the time because it's in the kitchen, I just really wanted it. So yeah, it's just so pretty. I can't with this plant. Let me put it back here. People will tell you, before I show you this plant, I'm going to pick off some of the dead stuff. People will tell you that spider plants are some of the easiest plants to take care of, and I agree. This plant just hates me. This is a spider plant Bonnie. So most spider plants, they just go straight out. Spider plant Bonnie, it curls in on itself, kind of like a curlicue. It's really cute, and I would say it's pretty easy because I don't pay too much attention to this plant. It just doesn't really like me, and maybe it's because the soil's dry. It wants to die, and I've already killed like 3 spider plants and counting with this one. And it's okay right now, like if we ignore like the little crispy bits. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't thrive like I've seen people's spider plants live. And I don't know why, and I don't know what I'm doing to it. And yeah, it just stresses me out to own this plant because everybody says it's supposed to be like the plant you cannot kill. And here I am, killing it. If that's not a metaphor for what my life is like right now, I don't know what is, guys. Okay. Let's see. Let's put this little guy. I'm just picking out plants right now. All right. Let's see. So this is the silver satin pothos. This one hangs in my kitchen as well. It's got these really huge leaves, and they kind of have a silvery sheen to them. Can't really see it as much here, but it's a really pretty plant. It's going to vine eventually as well, but right now it's just got lots of little growth points coming off of it, like this one and this one. It's got some new leaves coming out on this side. This is an easy plant to have. Pothos in general are just good plants. I don't know. I want all of the pothos. Like I want to have one of each variety. So that's kind of what I've been doing, is collecting them all. There's a smaller version of this where the leaves are like about this big versus like that big. So I will be getting that one eventually as well. And this one's just nice to have in the kitchen. I don't know if you guys can see it. In the kitchen, right here, excuse the mess that's in the kitchen. You can see this cabinet, and there's cabinet doors, and I tend to hang things on the doors because I don't use all of the cabinet space. And then plants usually line the top of this. I've just pulled them down so you guys can see some of them. So, yeah, my kitchen's a disaster, but it usually is. I don't go into it that much. I am making buffalo wings tonight, though, so that should be good. Okay. This is a peperomia frost. Oh yeah, I can't get any of the labels off of these. This is a peperomia frost. It's really easy. It's pretty. They like to be almost completely, this one probably needs to be watered. They like to be almost completely dry before you water them again, because if you water them too much they get pissed off. And when you piss off the plants, they tend to just be like, okay, I guess I'm just going to die then. Yeah, that's why I don't water this ever. I have a moisture meter somewhere in the thick of the plants that tells me when things need to be watered so I don't overwater them, because I can be a little bit overbearing with my plants, meaning that I overwater them. And which, honestly, if you guys know me, that goes into my personality quite a bit. So I have to kind of control myself and be patient with my plants, or they will die. Which, honestly, that's a pretty good teaching philosophy. Let's see. I'm pretty much just about done. I have some more in the back, but I don't think I'm going to show you guys these. I'll show you this one. And I'll show you this one. But the rest are pretty much just repeats. And also some of these ones back here you saw in the classroom. So you don't really need to see, because I brought my classroom plants home, because they'll die at this point. Okay. Oh, so this plant smells terrible right now because I had to spray it with neem oil, which is what you use to get rid of pests. But neem oil smells like if garlic were a fart. That's neem oil. So if I gag at all, it's because of this plant. Okay. This is there we go. This is an Aglaonema tigris. It is such a pretty plant. And it has some cuts and things that were there in the nursery. Like something was munching on it in the nursery, if you can see that. But it's such a pretty plant, and it was crammed into a tiny little pot, like half the size of this. And so it was really root bound. And ever since I got it here, it's just happy. It's super pretty. I don't know where to put it because it deserves to be somewhere that's not just in the row of plants on my kitchen bar thing. It deserves to kind of have its own moment, and I haven't been able to find a place for that yet. And I would put it in my bedroom, but again, no plants are going in my bedroom right now because they have gnats. And I don't like bugs in my bedroom. It's just not my thing, guys. Ugh. Okay, I'll put it right there. This is the gross smelling plant right now. I can't handle it. It smells so bad, but it's such a pretty plant. This is a crocodile fern. I don't know if you guys can see. If you look really, really closely, the leaves look like crocodile skin, so it's kind of scaly. Ferns, here's the thing about ferns, is they like to be watered often, they need to be sprayed often, and they will still die on you, even if you do everything that they need, because like the begonia, they need really high humidity, like almost higher, okay, I have to move the plant away from me, it smells bad. Almost higher humidity than like pretty much anything. Like, for instance, the fern that I had in my classroom that was up on the bookshelf, it liked the classroom space and it got sprayed enough and it was happy. But as soon as I moved it here, and it was still getting sprayed enough and things like that, but it wasn't sunny enough in the corner I had it, it started to dry up and die. So now it's in my bathroom on the back of the toilet. And hopefully it doesn't die on me because I like that plant. Yeah. I think that's all I have in terms of, I mean, I have more plants, of course, but like I have this one. I kind of forgot what this one was called. I bought it on a whim. Walmart, guys. $10. Hi, Justin. Yeah, I'll show you. So, yeah, and there's more up there, and I have another monstera over there. I'm going to flip it around. My living room's kind of a mess, you guys, but you can see up on top of that shelf where there used to be a bunch of plants. I miss you too, Justin. I hope you're doing okay. I have one big plant that I refuse to take down unless I'm watering it because it's too much of a hassle to take down. It's a pain in the butt. You can also see my little decoration on the wall. And then I have string lights as well that are across. There's where I hang up my dog leashes, and there's garbage on the floor over there, and I think my dogs are laying on the couch. One of them is. Tucker, you want to say hello? Say hi. He doesn't care. Tucker, you guys say hi. Jacob, do you want to say hi? Come here. Come up. And then this is Jacob. He doesn't care either. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so this has just been what I've been doing. Thank you. It took a bunch to decorate it. You'll find when you guys live with a bunch of roommates that nobody can agree on how to decorate things. And when you get your own space, you can decorate it however you want to. And then you go a little nuts doing it. Yeah. So like every single wall has some kind of a print on it. And I do a lot of moon stuff. I don't know if you guys can see. Like I have, oh no, you guys can't. Hang on. Let them see it. It's like, there we go. So it's like sun and moon kind of theme. You're not going to college, Justin, so what do you want to do instead? There's got to be some kind of instead then. And that's okay. So both of my brothers didn't go to college. Actually, none. So I'm the youngest of 5. And I have 2 siblings and 2 brothers. And I was the only one who went to college. And I was lucky enough to go to college on, hi Cassie, or not Cassie. Oh, hi Cassandra. But I was lucky enough to go to college on something called a GI Bill, because my dad or my stepdad, he was a veteran, and when veterans are a certain percentage disabled, so his back and his knees are messed up because he used to jump out of airplanes, he and his dependents got to go to school for free, and I was the only child of 5 to take advantage of that. But both my brothers didn't go to college, and they're doing pretty okay. My brother Terry just bought a motorcycle, which is stressing my mom out. He also bleached and dyed his hair blue. I think he's going through something right now. So we're going to ignore that. But yeah, and then my other brother he has 3 kids, and he's a manager at McDonald's. I wish he would do more. He's really smart. When he was in high school, he was in the top 5%, like the top 5% of students in terms of math in California. He tested the highest. So he's really, really good at math. He just, I don't know. Who knows? I think that's the thing you learn when you get older is you can only really control yourself. But anyways, yeah, so maybe you'll get to decorate your apartment much faster, Justin. And I hope you do. I walked into too many guys' apartments in colleges, or in college, and they literally had no furniture. Like they had like a plastic bin for their coffee table. And that's kind of horrifying, to be honest. Did I scare somebody away? Probably. But anyways, sound off in the comments, you guys. How are you guys doing? Are you guys bored yet? Hi, Jack. Are you bored? Are you sticking at home and staying safe? You missed the bulk of the plant tour. There's a lot going on back there. You're bored. You're not staying home, are you? Jacqueline Marsh, you gotta stay home. It's good for you. The only time I go out is when I need groceries or I help my mom grocery shop because I'm not playing with people. You're getting parts right now for the car or the truck that's having trouble running still. Make sure you wash your hands at least. And are you wearing a mask? Hopefully you guys are all wearing masks when you go out. I have mine in my purse. It's important to wear masks because it protects you and it protects others. So it's if everybody wears a mask, there's a very low chance of infection spreading between two people. But if only like half the population wear masks, it doesn't really do that much in terms of like not spreading COVID-19. So, yeah. But, yeah, I don't go out too much. I am going a little stir crazy just being in my apartment. You guys are lucky. A lot of you can go outside and have like space to run around. I guess that's the benefits of living on farms or out in the middle of the country. Woodland, I don't go out very much because my neighbors' kids are usually outside like all the time because they're bored. So, are you guys all still working? No. So you're just at home bored, Jacob? I'm sorry. Just gonna mess with the plant. Let's see. I would say you guys could read a book not to be bored, but I can already feel your guys' eye rolls from like here. What are some things I do to not be bored? I play lots of video games. I do read. I clean. There's some pretty good yoga on YouTube right now. So I do yoga classes on YouTube. I miss going in to do yoga though. That's half the fun. I've been considering dyeing my hair again. If you guys can't tell, it's just brown now. And the ends are kind of going gray. Because purple doesn't just fade to brown, it fades to gray. Fun fact. I have to clean up my second bedroom because it's full of all of my laundry that I don't fold. I'm making homemade buffalo wings tonight, so from scratch. So those are marinating in the fridge right now to go in the oven later. And I'm going to make some homemade blue cheese dressing and cut up some veggies and things to go with it. Because I miss going out and getting wings. I mean, I know I can still go to Wingstop, but that's not the same. I'm like scaring people away. So I'm only going to stream for a little bit longer. I'm supposed to go with Miss Grody to go grocery shopping in a little bit. Because she needs to get, her cat is apparently really stressed out for some reason, probably because everybody's home right now. So she has to go get like special treats for her cat to de-stress with, whatever that means. See, it's not very interesting, is it? But yeah, I just wanted to check in with you guys. I only got to check in with a few of you. Hopefully, I'll get more. I'd like to do. I wish I knew how to set up like my TV so I could play like a video game and you guys could watch. Become like a Twitch streamer, guys. Oh, make some extra money. Are you guys cringing right now? But I'll check in with you guys and continue. Hopefully, I can show you. I mean, there's more plants that I could have shown you, but I didn't because there's too many. But hopefully, I can show you plants I get when I buy them. Because I'm still going to be buying plants, and yeah, because I love plants. But wow, I've been streaming for 50 minutes, you guys, just about. So yeah, that's just pretty much what's going on with me. I am going to end the stream. You guys can rewatch it if you want. I don't know why you would want to. But it was really good to talk to you guys, and I will see you guys later, okay? Bye, guys.